As I was browsing my favorite forum, the TL.net forum, I saw a thread calling out PiG and Winter by someone called FPS_Daniel, aka Expert. Hey gang, I am new to StarCraft 2. I've been a decently high Quake player before. He means high level, not someone that smokes a lot of marijuanas. And I'm trying to get into this. On YouTube, I've watched the most recent builds for Terran to have a decent build and something to build on. Now, I've watched Winter's videos and PiG's videos. I've learned their builds out of my head, even having their vids being played on my second screen, and doing exactly what they are doing as Terran versus very hard / elite AI. And yeah, I'm telling you, and keep in mind, I'm new, I might mess it up here and there, but the builds you are making within the time you are doing it won't win you more than 20% of the matches versus AI. So yeah, what about this? Make a few vids, like where you do 5 matches versus Elite AI as Terran with the builds you are showing. That would get me to at least gold on the ladder to see what this is about and what I'm doing wrong. Now this post was made on the 16th of March and neither Winter or PiG have responded to this claim, which kind of makes me believe that FPS Daniel, aka Expert, might be correct and that PiG and Winter are not capable of beating the Elite AI with their Terran. At least not with the build orders they're showing. So I decided to help out FPS Daniel and get him at least one replay where I show him a very solid build order that will allow him to beat the Elite AI pretty consistently. I'll give you one replay, FPS Daniel, and I'll even make a guide out of this for you. So I hope you enjoy it and I hope to see you in gold soon. We're currently in a game against the Elite AI, and I'm going to be explaining you a thing or two here on how to beat them. I have 12 years of experience with StarCraft 2 and with beating the Elite AI, and the first thing you want to do is send one of your initial workers across the map. You're going to be executing what is called a proxy build. And a proxy just means in close proximity to your opponent's base. So we want to get our first production structure close to our opponent's main base. This will allow us to immediately attack into their main base with our first units and start dealing damage as fast as possible. Now, this is obviously good. The faster you attack, the harder it will be for the Elite AI to deal with. So the closer we have it, the better it is. Now, we build it relatively close. We know our opponent spawns over here. And we're just going to get a single refinery. At the same time, we gotta keep in mind that we're no all-in players, okay? StarCraft 2 is a game of macro and strategy, and although we want to deal initial damage, that is not where we want it to end. So this is what we would call a light pressure build, basically. We're going to stay on a single gas as well, and once our barracks finishes, we can start producing units from there, and this SCV can help out in the push as well. How, you might be wondering? I will show you in a couple of seconds. So this barracks finishes up. We immediately try to get out a Reaper. We start the orbital command at home. And then this SCV could go home. But what we can also do is we can create a building called the command center. The command center usually is used for staying at home and defending against any threats. But in this case, it is going to be a building that will shoot his stuff. And it will shoot his stuff pretty fast into the game. So we're going to fly this command center into our opponent's main base, land it, and morph it into a planetary. Now, I know this all sounds like a lot, but this is a strategy that you can basically employ every single game against the Elite AI and get a 100% win rate with, which is, of course, what we're aiming for here. Now, this should be relatively easy for you. I know you're a Quake player, so controlling a single unit with range, making headshots on this salad should be you should be like a fish in the water, is what I'm trying to say, you know? You're just swimming. This is absolutely no problem. Just make sure you're not getting hit. And because we're playing a macro build as well, we're just going to get a command center at home. This is pretty important. This actually is pretty important to do it like this. So we kill this salad, and we continue attacking workers as well. We got to make sure that none of our Reapers die, because they're pretty important for this part of the plan. We got to keep him busy while we're flying over our command center. And the moment our first one starts flying over, we can just send our second one in. Another important thing is the moment that your command center hits your opponent's main base, is you pull a lot of workers from home into the elite AI's base. The reason you do this is because you want to repair your planetary while it's shooting, but also while it's morphing. So we get it into a planetary. We still have these Reapers running around as well. We're dealing damage with it, making sure that this thing can get up. That is just the most important thing. If our planetary can get up, we will win the game. So we see some minor attacks out of him. Don't forget, this is also a macro build order. We still have a command center at home. Here come the workers, and this will allow us to quickly repair this command center, while our Reapers are still continuously fighting. It's basically like controlling 4 Quake characters at the same time. And as you are a high-level Quake player, I don't think this should be much of an issue for you. Another cool trick is we can get this upgrade called High Sec Auto Tracking that gives our main building a little bit of extra range. And you see, just like this, our planetary fortress manages to win the game. The AI-1 Elite wishes to surrender, and now you can accept, or you can fly in your second building into his natural and basically win from there. So I will accept. I'm not too interested in seeing the entire animation of another planetary morphing, and it's obvious that I have won at this point. So yeah, this is a very, very solid way of beating the elite AI that will also translate well into your multiplayer endeavors. If you execute this type of build order, I think you definitely could get into gold. No problem, very quickly. So I'll leave the replay in the description below as well. I hope that you haven't lost all trust in YouTube content creators. I understand that what PiG and Winter did to you was not cool, and the fact they haven't quite responded to your forum post is also a little bit odd, but I hope this makes it up to you, and welcome aboard the StarCraft 2 community, my friend. I hope you have a brilliant time.